What's up, guys? This is my first ever video on this channel, and today we are going to be doing a what if the world restarted. Now, we're going to be doing it on one of these maps, and I'm going to be doing it on the world map large because it looks more realistic. Anyways, let's get into it. So, I'm going to start this where like the world actually started. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to like Israel. And over here, we're going to plop a country down. That should be... No, spawn at least 2 nations. Alright, we're just going to spawn this. Okay, we're going to play. Now, Upwitch, I'm sorry, but you're the nation I'm going to be choosing to destroy. So, Bjorn... Okay, I'm changing that name. I don't want to mess up. You know, slip up and say something that I can't say. So, let's just go... Tomer is the name of this one. Alright, we're gonna start out. We'll put 3, and we're gonna only paint on empty tiles. So first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna expand through the coast of this place. See, these guys take a while before they can expand because like they're still learning. You know, these are like only a couple humans, you know, some really fit Neanderthals that they brought back because an asteroid had hit the world and only a few people survived. So they're obviously going to be like, hey, we want this river that kind of stretches down. So, you know, they're kind of going into Africa first. But other than this river, they're like, we don't want to go into Africa. So they just decide to, you know, explore over here and fill this out. Now, here's where something bad happens to this Israeli country. The people down here didn't like the people up here. So, half of the Nile will be split like this. So they split the Nile like that. And these people get to keep all of this. So, you know, the Israeli people are like, okay, we're just going to leave you all alone. We're going to move up here, so they're going to stay out of Africa. And there's certain terrain they're going to be dodging, like they don't want to go down, so they're going to go up. They're going to go through here, and their country is looking like a little weird thing. But, I mean, their country is expanding in all the right ways, as you can see. No wars, no nothing, I mean... This country is expanding very good. And they're going to spread down to the Nile because they need their water. So they're going to go down about that far. Other than that, these two countries are like, you know, really, they do trades together. But one day, this team Tomer sends 15 people out on an expedition to search across the ocean. Now, these people have little tiny boats, and they find this island called, what they called, Cyprus Land. So the people who found it decided to make a new country and separate from these guys without these guys finding out. So they would go up north up here into Turkey, which they would ultimately end up where they were. And this is the first war. They're like, you betrayed us, and we don't like that. So... they move through and blah, blah, blah. You know, they're moving through up here. They don't know about Cyprus yet. But, you know, they're like, fine, we'll send a new group over. So these people are, you know, more intact with their country. They never want to change. And they find the people of Cyprus and do a quick invasion, quick and swift, to annex them. Anyways, the people down south wanted to move up, and they would not wait for these guys. So they move up, and they're spreading into Italy. And you might be like, Levi, how's that possible? They have tiny boats. Well, at this time, while nobody knew, they made the biggest boat ever created. It was about the size of... I'm trying to think. I'll put a picture up to show how big it was, but it was the biggest boat at the time. And, they made this, but some northerners wanted to go even more up. So, they made a new country, which, you got to respect the hustle. And that is Italy, basically, already done in the first episode. I'm speed talking today. But, all this happening in one episode is kind of crazy. Anyways, back here, these people, they're gonna move down. These are like the southerners. They like to go down. They're going down. And then they find like this big mountain range, and they're like, I think we might want to stay on the mountain range. But, they were in the desert for most of it. So, see, like, look at that. They were in the desert for most of it. So, they're like, we do want to go down, but this mountain range is really tricky. So, they send out, and they say, they send out 20 people, and they're like, go make your own country down there. We don't want you here anymore. Like, they sent people who they were trying to execute down there as a punishment. So these people stayed on these mountains for years and years, but we're not that far ahead. It's a weird-shaped country. They're just like a big circle, but they needed water, as most countries would need, so they, went over like that, and they just found water there, and they cut off those people. They cut off the green team from Somalia. And the green team wasn't really having that. They were like, no, we wanted Somalia. We told you could stay at the mountains. Do you really want us to hurt you? And, they're like, you know what? Sure. Now, this is, like, at the point where people realized, hey, there's more humans than we thought. Because these two Italian teams, they're allied. They're having fun, and they go up and explore top France, and that's when they find Francis. What are they called? A French country. And they didn't really like the French country, so they make a separate country to divide these two. So, there's a country right here in the middle, which is kind of like a big thing that's going on. And yeah, there's already 7 countries at the end of part 1, so we're just gonna save it here. We're gonna call this World Map 1 Beginning. Anyways, if you'd like to see beginning, wait, did I spell that right? No, beginning. I don't think I spelled it right. Anyways, if you want to see more of this, let me know. But this is it for the first video. I'll post probably later today or tomorrow. So, yeah. Peace out, guys. Bye.